Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're starting a new show. Mob Psycho.
100.
100. Mob Psycho 100.
It's
yes.
a requirement
Sorry.
to say the
Oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh. I am so sorry. I don't know anything about it. Full disclosure, I have seen a Funko Pop with a kid with a bowl cut a couple years ago.
How dare you?
And one of my animation friends said that he liked some of the animation in the show.
So that's
He thought,
bonus points.
Yeah, and I've heard from a couple people that they think like it would be up my alley, but I have a pretty like
Big alley.
big alley.
I have not heard from anyone that it would be up my alley.
I like a lot of different shows, so I don't really know where that puts this,
Yeah.
like which category this falls into.
Let's guess a genre.
I don't know.
We got mobs. We got psychos of mobs. No, mobs of psychos.
I was gonna say Cowboy Bebop, but I've never seen Cowboy
Never
Bebop,
even
so
seen
like
Cowboy It's exactly like that show that you have not seen, that you know nothing about.
yeah, maybe
Because it is a
Who
show
knows?
that you haven't seen and you know nothing about. So,
So
technically it is the same.
In a way, it's the same.
Yeah.
So
Maybe guns
maybe guns,
and some fighting.
fighting.
I don't know, from like, I've seen a still of what I assume is either the main character or a very popular side character from the show.
The bowl
and
cut.
The black bowl cut
Yeah.
hair kid looking adult. And I don't even know where I was going with that, but I
mean-
have seen what he looks like, and that is it. That is all I know.
Yeah.
Is it comedy? Comedy action?
I'm kind of
Maybe.
open. It's like whatever it is, open-minded. We'll learn as it comes.
We will enjoy whatever it is or not.
True.
There's always a possibility for the or not.
Very, very true. We're gonna take a play out of Blind Wave's notebook real quick, in the sense that we do full length, and the first full length of this new series is going to be free for everybody. So if you want to sync up your own footage, just follow the link in the description. And we offer full length for all of our shows, and a week to 2 week early access as well if you're interested in that. If not, it's whatever. I'm just excited to watch this show. You?
Yeah.
Sweet. Whoa, cool colors.
Supernatural? It's like Gon.
What? I have no idea
don't know
what's
what's
happening,
happening.
but I love watching it.
The numbers?
It's 23.
Is 100 like a leveling up situation?
Maybe. Whoa, I love like the red aura.
That's like Soul Eater Moon.
Yeah.
100.
What happens? $100 equals red eyes. Oh, it does seem like
Like yokai?
spiritual. Yeah. Like exorcists?
Yeah.
Reigen. The art style is really interesting. Exorcism Corsi pick.
This kind of feels like a swindler psychic. Spirits and such.
How nice. Taro. I love the art style.
It's so different than anything I've seen. He's totally a liar.
He's like a mentalist. Just more scammy. This is just like One Punch Man.
Yeah, you're dissing this lady's face, that guy's chin.
The spirit of a man who saw a cockroach.
Jumped so high, his head went through the ceiling.
You'd feel like if you're like a scam artist in a world where yokai and spirits are real, it'd kind of be dangerous for you, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. There's like a reverb to his voice. Did you see like the palette knife coloring on him?
Yeah, it was textural.
Pocket sand. Amateur. Bowl cut.
He's the ultimate weapon.
Mob. Is he just gonna wait there? Like, the art's so interesting.
I love him already.
What a shot!
Kageyama.
Shigeo.
An actual psychic.
psychic.
So this adult is using a real psychic.
The protagonist of the story. Thank you, narrator. Thank you. Intro.
It doesn't really seem like he's teaching him anything. Seems more like he's using him for...
I think I get where this song's gonna go. You know, the vibrance of the colors that they're using is really unique.
Doesn't this feel like something you would have watched, like, in the morning as a kid?
It does. C said master when talking to Reigen, right?
That was his teacher.
Not much of a teacher. Oh,
So
do you see like the
cool.
sketchy, like... I love, like, hand-drawn, sketchy looking things. Hey.
You're taking advantage of this kid. You're the useless middleman.
So they don't go berserk. Other people. Progress toward mob's explosion, 22%.
Or was it expulsion? Shigeo.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like the like psychic cliche bending spoons. Aw, Ritsu? Shigeo?
Mm-hmm. That's Mob's first name. Kageyama Shigeo.
What the fuck?
Maybe there is a romance in this.
It's so interesting how everyone's drawn. Explosion.
Okay.
25% now.
Nice.
Reigen could be very knowledgeable about this and just like always wanted to be a psychic. That doesn't like his practice is a little shady, but I'm liking him.
Oh,
It's like Scooby-Doo.
so good. Dangerous.
The art is so cool. Auras.
No.
Was that One Punch Man on his phone?
Not a weakling. Not a banana peel!
This is awesome. What you got, man?
Just table salt.
The ozone layer. We were just being forced to do this. Not the real boss? Aww.
Takes one to know one.
Explode out. It's like a charcoal etching. Oh my god. Mob equals OP. Aww.
Aww.
He's such a good bullshitter. I respect it.
Okay.
27% at the end.
So, is this a season kind of counting down to his explosion?
Or up.
Counting up to his explosion, percentage-wise, until
Was-
100%?
Was the intro, like, was it like a 48 hours before kind of thing? Like, was the intro showing us when it's going to hit 100? Or not the intro, like the opening scene?
Ooh, the opening scene is
Yeah.
the explosion. I like that, because it counted down, I think it started at, like, in the 90s or maybe
Yeah.
high 80s to 100.
I understand why people who know me a little bit would think that I would really like the art in this show. My first immediate takeaway was, other than this is 100% the mangaka and writer of One Punch Man. There's no question about it.
All I know about One Punch Man is there's a bald guy.
I have seen the first season. We saw him at some point in this episode on the screensaver. The butt
phone
chins.
screen of Reigen.
The way that it's designed and the similar theme of an seemingly overpowered character in a comedic type world, I am just gonna assume. My big question is I don't know how else to describe the style of the characters and the world as loose, you know? They're extremely intentionally loose.
Yeah.
And my question is, how hard does that make it to animate the
animate
show and like draw and animate the show if this is how the manga looks. Like if this is how the manga looks and they're like, this is it, stay true to our character designs and then animate it. Wouldn't that I feel like it would make it
Fun.
harder.
Maybe harder,
Yeah.
but also more fun.
Oh my god.
I don't
fun,
think it would be a boring day at work to animate this.
Agreed. The lines are thick like in classic anime, but like
I really want to see what the manga looks like.
yeah, me too.
Just so I can see how it went from 2D to animation. I would love to see that.
There
'cause
was
it's
so many
unique. And then there was like texture. This is on like infrared watercolor paint.
Yeah. It's like it's so interesting the choices that they make. Like what would you do here as like a mangaka? Is this creative liberties taken from the animation studio, or is it like a black and white kind of smudgy palette on like on like a manga page, and then they like took it and ran with it? Like it's so interesting and unique.
It makes me curious whether they actually like, I mean, it goes further than kind of pen and ink
Yeah.
in texture. So it does make me wonder if the mangaka used other mediums and then it was printed, copied. Like paint, watercolor, charcoal.
There's so many great like a tracking shots, or like a swivel shot in this episode even. Like I'm really appreciating the art and the animation, of course. Takeaway, another one. Anyone apparently can see spirits. You don't have to be psychic to see spirits in this world. It's not like a, Jujutsu Kaisen comparison.
I didn't know what I was getting into for this show. I saw mob and I assumed the mob, like a gang and gang violence and fights, which is not something I would be into per se. But I am obsessed with yokai and spirits and the supernatural. I have probably said many, yes. And I've said many, many times that the only thing that like scary thing that I love that like doesn't scare me that I could watch day in day out is ghost and spirit things.
Yeah.
And I love yokai. Like I have like books and manga about yokai. I love the stories and the lore.
So we have Mob, who is our protagonist.
Kaguya-sama Shigeo.
We have Reigen Arataka, I think.
Arataka or Aratuka?
One or the other. But I like him.
You like Reigen?
I like him a lot.
I don't.
At
the moment, it seems like an adult taking advantage of a middle school student that all his worries should be about that popular girl not liking him back, and he doesn't have any friends, and he has gym class. Like, he has enough on his plate other than being swindled by a con artist.
Everything you said is very true, but it does take a certain type of person, an admiral person, and respectable person to go into these. Like, he's a con artist. He's a swindler. But he goes into these known dangerous situations anyways.
He's dedicated to the con, to the law.
You have to give the man some sort of credit.
Okay, I'll give him some credit, but I don't find him admirable.
He can't even sense how dangerous these places are. Like, the first place that they went into that he couldn't sense, that could have been even a higher level of, what do you call it, like spirit or poltergeist or whatever, than the one that they faced at the end, and he went there without Mob at first. He could have died, but guess what? He's playing the game, man. He's
what was
working.
he doing before he met Mob? Because if he still thinks table salt was gonna do it, and he has this ultimate move of punching with table salt, like, what was he doing before? It makes you wonder if, like, if we'll ever get, like, a before time, like a when they meet kind of situation, and maybe like he was a con artist that like pretended to do this, but he couldn't see ghosts and spirits and didn't even know they really existed, and he was just conning people. And ever since their interaction, maybe he knows the reality of it.
I wonder how often there are psychics. Like, how many psychics are in this world. Believe it or not, the world is filled with strange phenomena. They're helplessly thrown sorry. I'm replaying it so we know. The world is filled with strange phenomena that science is yet to explain. And when people come face to face with them, they are helplessly thrown into the dark depths of fear.
Or excitement.
But there are those who fight every day to shine a ray of hope into that chaotic darkness. They all look like they have different, like, weapons, right? One looks like it has, like, a fortune-telling...
Is the business suit man at the beginning supposed to be Reigen? Since all of the others seem to have maybe an actual weapon.
Which one?
And right when they all start showing up, all of the psychics, the first one you see is like a business suit person in the blue suit. With kind of the blondish hair.
Maybe. Or maybe it's like a better version of Reigen out there. Like Reigen's brother or something. We saw
Reigen's
Mob's
older
brother. Right? And he's trying to like live up to the familial hype.
Yeah, like the family, it's the family business,
Yeah.
but he didn't inherit the abilities.
That's my question too, is like, how many psychics are there? Because either there are what led these two people to come to Reigen's office? There obviously are not an abundance of psychics, because if there are, there must be hundreds of psychics out there with better reviews who have similar
better
businesses.
Yelp reviews.
Yeah, I would think the psychics are few and far between, and that they are on their own like pedigree of life.
I can hear a review now. Psychic brought table salt and then called a middle schooler to come and take care of it.
I don't know though. Like, I'm very interested in the potential world. I'm not going to lie. A little part of me is like, I hope that there are other elements to the show that I begin to adore other than the comedy and the animation.
Okay.
Because sometimes there's a fear, if there's an overpowered character that is never challenged, alone that could get stale. This obviously already has different things going for it. I just am very curious as what route this show and story is going to take.
I'm hoping that there's a lot of maybe 50-50 time with the action and Mob fighting these spirits, and then the other 50 is this poor middle schooler's time in middle school and his struggles as a psychic child who doesn't have any friends at the moment, has a crush on the most popular girl in school, and maybe ghosts show up at school, and I could see some hijinks with that. And obviously he kind of can't control a lot of the things that happen, like the bending of spoons. So I feel some stuff could happen that could be embarrassing in the future.
That's another takeaway, because his parents obviously know that he's psychic, right? But they didn't seem you really need to drop that habit. But they didn't seem Shigio's going through puberty. Maybe they are also psychic, but they have it under control. And
well, they do say, okay, and if you watch psychic type shows, they do say that
some spoons.
Puberty, that time period, is when a lot of people's abilities start going kind of wackadoo, poltergeist, doors, cabinets opening, and hearing knocking and actually being the person, and them not realizing that they're causing the poltergeist activity.
Well, okay, so it's interesting because it's Shigio's going through puberty, let him bend some spoons. And then it's right?
He's going through a rough time.
But then it's there you go, spoiling him again. You need to learn from Ritsu, Shige. He got another perfect score on his quiz today. Is that just a school quiz and Ritsu is not psychic, or is that like a psychic quiz and the whole family's psychic and Ritsu like has it more under wraps?
Ritsu could be like telepath, and that's why he gets perfect scores, and so he's using his abilities for betterment instead of bending spoons.
That's not what I was implying. I was saying that Mob doesn't have full control over it yet, and maybe Ritsu's just a better psychic.
Oh.
Maybe the whole family's psychic, because it obviously doesn't seem that crazy to them. But that contrasts my like point of there potentially being fewer psychics in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm getting the vibe that he's just the weird special child. And they know he can do some weird things, but they try to not they try to kind of push down the habits so that he can live a normal life.
Yeah, I definitely... It's interesting because, like, Mob does not seem at all athletic. His power seems to be... Okay, if you're psychic, where does that, like... Do you have, like, full telekinesis? Do you have, like... That's a very broad potential power.
Yeah, I mean, like, there could be sensing about people, mind reading. There could be a lot of different things that are under that umbrella idea or term.
Mm-hmm.
So I maybe we learn what exactly Mob can do. Maybe Mob is about to learn exactly what Mob can do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you figure?
Because the show is about Mob.
I don't know. There's aura in the show.
Mm-hmm. Mob gets vibes.
Yeah.
He knows when something bad is about. How did he learn to exercise?
Does it come
obvious
natural?
to me that Reigen is not the one that taught him.
Why do you say that?
Because it's obvious that he's not the one that
Well, again, okay, like I said though, just because like if he did come from a family of psychics, just because he's not psychic does not mean that he is not knowledgeable on the subject.
So he could be the one in the family that didn't get the abilities.
Yeah.
But it seems like Mob has such control over how to do it. It's like he's not even like worried. He's like unfazed, like, oh, okay, I'll fix it. You know?
So do you think that he got training at some point? Or like he's like...
I mean, you did say that it might be innate, right?
Yeah.
It could be innate. It could be that he got training. I mean, we could be getting flashbacks, some like story time about Mob as a baby and then a smaller child than he is currently.
Okay. So I just did the math.
Ooh, math, gross.
I'm currently doing the math. I changed my mind.
Oh,
Okay, no. So if there are 12 episodes this season, and each episode he goes up 3 different three different points of 2%. So in this episode he went from 22, 25, and 27. If that continues onward, there are going to be 12 episodes until he reaches 99, which then could be the finale of the season.
I wonder if we can assume that the 0 point was when he met this guy.
That's a very, very good question
job.
because he started out at 22 from this episode, right? So like why, like and what does it have to deal with? Is it like a culmination of fighting these things? When did the percentage change?
The percentage changed every time he did something. So it changed after this person. He was walking away from it after like the person that like got scared of the cockroach.
After the person who got scared of the cockroach.
Yeah, that ghost that died from being scared of a cockroach. That's when it changed. He's like walking on the side of the road and he like looks at his hand.
Is it after the intro?
Yeah. I think he's like leaving. Yeah. Okay, it's before he sees his parents. He like has just left Reigen's office and like looks down at his hand. See, it's like right here. Okay. You promised me, didn't you? You wouldn't use your psychic powers against other people. And then that's when it's 22%.
When did 25 happen?
Right after the biker gang? And then the 27 would have been right after the other spirit at the end of the tunnel. I believe.
Because, like, it's interesting that the first one, at least, was right after it was, like, you promised me not to do this to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where 25 was, though.
Somewhere in there, maybe.
27. I don't know. It's very interesting, though. Maybe it is like a culmination of him using his powers. The more he uses it, the more they grow and pile up, like stockpile kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, I guess under that logic, we're assuming this is like a 12-episode season.
I don't know. That was just a...
Even though it feels like one of those shows that would have come on every weekend or something on like a Sunday morning.
It does feel that.
So I feel like 12 episodes would not be enough.
Well, it depends on where they go with the story, right? We're only one episode in, but...
What? We're only one episode in?
We have a budding romance that has not even started with
It hasn't even been planted.
Tsubomi.
And then, like, all the other girls were different, like, vegetables.
Amazing. Tsubomi, yeah. Was I alone in my understanding or feeling that Mob does not have many friends?
I think that was a good vibe. I think that was accurate for those classmates passing and not saying anything to Mob.
I wonder if he's weird. I wonder if people think he's weird.
He's definitely probably an outcast.
I wonder if he's an outcast because he's psychic. I wonder if people at school know he's psychic. I don't know.
The thing is, he probably did some weird things as a kid, unintentionally.
We just make these baseless claims because, like, who knows? I love it.
And so then everyone just kind of kept away from him since then.
Yeah.
These are all like just guesses.
I know. Oh, amazing.
I'm like using things that have happened in other shows that I've seen to create this like backstory and situation for this character.
I'm excited to see where they go with it. I love the art and I love the music. I like the intro's like fun.
It was so fun.
But the outro was like a banger, dude. I loved the outro song. All right. You have anything else?
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Thank you guys so much for watching Mob Psycho with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.